Russia has repeatedly and publicly condemned the U.S. military actions, particularly the strikes on vessels near Venezuelan waters. Their key points are: Russia, along with China, has strongly condemned the U.S. strikes on boats, which the U.S. claims are drug trafficking vessels, as a gross violation of international law and human rights. Russian officials have used terms like cowboy principles and shoot-first policy to criticize the unilateral use of military force outside of international consensus. Russia views the large-scale U.S. military buildup as a direct threat to Venezuela's sovereignty and a possible precursor to a military intervention or invasion, which they explicitly warned against at the United Nations Security Council, UNSC. Venezuela is a long-standing strategic ally of Russia, particularly in defense and economic sectors. Moscow sees its support for Caracas as a way to challenge U.S. influence in the Western Hemisphere and project itself as a defender of sovereign nations against what it calls Western adventurism. Russian officials have reaffirmed their firm support for the Venezuelan leadership in defending its national sovereignty and stated they remain in constant contact with Caracas. The Russian warning is specifically directed at a series of highly controversial U.S. military actions that have occurred in the Caribbean. The deployment of a significant U.S. naval force, including destroyers and Marines, near the Venezuelan coast, which the U.S. officially frames as an enhanced counter-narcotics operation. The U.S. military has conducted strikes, resulting in the sinking of multiple small vessels it alleges are carrying narcotics. These strikes and the resulting deaths are what Russia and other critics, including the UN human rights chief and the Colombian president, have labeled as extrajudicial killings and a dangerous escalation. In response to the U.S. pressure, President Nicolas Maduro has reportedly appealed to Russia and other allies like China for military assistance. These requests are believed to include overhauling and acquiring new missiles for its Russian-made air defense systems like the S-300, assistance with repairing and restoring its fleet of Russian-made military aircraft. While Russia offers strong diplomatic backing and has a history of providing arms and military diplomacy, like port visits and bomber flights, analysts suggest that Russia's ongoing war and economic constraints limit the scale of tangible military aid it can realistically provide. Russia's primary assistance remains diplomatic protection and verbal deterrence.